Okay, we are now back. Quarters now in session. Oh, I need to move the keyboard. Whatever. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Apparently the prosecution is also ready. Who is the judge here anyways? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Very well. No opening statement. Sorry, Judge. Not so fast, Judge. I forgot his voice already. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking. Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end in 3 minutes from now. Huh? Order, order. Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah, must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness to the stand. It's that mysterious motion over here. Witness, state your profession. I am the proprietor of the restaurant The Wet Noodle at Good Lake. I also ran boats. The night of the incident, you were in the... I forgot his voice. You were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yep, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this guy is. What to do? Let's raise an objection so we can hear who he is. Raise an objection. Already. Objection! Wait a minute. What hasn't stated his name yet? because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah! I predicted the trial will end in 3 minutes. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. Yeah, right. The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure. Yeah? What do you mean? Memory. Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years. Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. Can recall his... You say? Yes, but the incident in question took place 3 days ago. He can't testify. Very well. Let's hear his testimony then, shall we, witness? Night of the murder. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Yep. I was at the restaurant with boots as usual, and I heard a bang. Yep. When I look out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore, and a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin a cross-examination. There is nothing to question in my witness testimony. Ergo, no need for examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Judge, your verdict now. Are you crazy? Cross-examine! What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Ah! Why 3 minutes? 3 minutes just passed. I see. Well then, let's just take our time. What's his point of 3 minutes? What day is this really? It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. Night of the 24th? Just after midnight? Just after midnight, you say? Yes, they're out, man. Are you sure? Pretty sure, yeah. When I talked to you yesterday, you were rather vague about the time. I'm surprised you seem so sure about it today. I asked him and he remembered. Isn't that right? Well, don't glare at me like that. I remember it clearly. I did, yeah. You see, continue. I was in the restaurant, red bones as usual, and I heard a bang. Yep. And where did the bang seem to come from? From the lake, I figure. Are you certain? Yep. Good, continue. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. And I heard another bang. So you heard 2 gunshots total? Yeah. That's what Lana said in her testimony yesterday. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore and a man walks by my window. By your window? Yep, by my window, right outside the window of my little shack. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. Tisk. I have a bad feeling about this. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad. Dead? Certain Keith? He said, I can't believe he's dead as he was walking by too. Witness, are you sure that person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him, that Edgeworth boy. This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Von Karma, He lured me into cross-examining so he can set me up for a fall. Tisk. Nick, I don't like the way things are going here. Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us. I better act quick or this trial is going to be over. Raise an objection. Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's court that it could not have been Edward who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edward's right hand found on the gun? On the photograph showing the man firing with his left hand? Exactly. That is easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. It sounds stupid. You are ignoring the truth of the matter here. Everything in this witness testimony is true. The judge is lost in thought. What should I do? Objection! Your Honor! The witness claims that Edward said I can't believe he's dead. But his words is all we have. If we were telling a lie... Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently you have yet to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof. Nick, do we have evidence? It's no good. There's nothing I can do. Are you sure? To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore. Please. Can you hear me, sis? Please. We need your help. Nick needs you. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation. However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough. The witness may leave the stand. The court sees no reason to further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? No! This court finds the defendant Mr. Miles Edgeworth. The accused will surrender the court immediately, to be held pending trial at the higher court within a month from today's date. That is all. The court is adjourned. Did we screw it up? Wait! Who was that just now? Me! Huh? What? Larry? What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it until just yesterday. But today I remember it. Remember what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Order! What is the meaning of this? I forgot his voice. The verdict has been decided. I call for adjournment. One more, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard the gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony, and I realized something he said was different from what I remember. Anyhow, I can't just sit here and let you call Edgy a murderer. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Order. Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you already given your decision. The trial is over. Nick, this is it. Larry's giving his final chance at this. She's right. If only it wasn't Larry, it could make things even worse. Mr. Edward was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse. You're right. Okay. Your Honor, there's another witness. It is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistake has been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Mr. Von Karma, I want you to call this new witness to testify. Now! The court will adjourn a 5-minute recess. After that, we'll hear this new witness. Court is adjourned.
Okay, we've made it so far. December 27th, 10:28 a.m. District Court, defense, whatever. Phew, that was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge on your seat like that, Edgeworth.
I've seen worse.
Yeah, right. Edgeworth, you're sweating bullets.
I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there.
Larry was at the lake that night.
Yes.
He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake. Oh, right. And he found the balloon at the air tank that night.
Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you say something right?
Yeah, a lot of things. You seemed out of it. What's wrong?
It's nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I have been needing to ask you.
What's that?
Why are your fingertips on the murder weapon?
Oh. When he fell into the lake, I went into a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason really.
I see.
Right. Yeah? This might be our chance.
Our chance?
Lord Karma has only ever run perfect trials.
Perfect trials?
Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly completed evidence. That's the secret to success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected. He has let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry.
What are you getting at?
It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right?
That's right, Nick. No, 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth. Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15! Everything depends on Larry now. Hold up, let me turn the light. It's getting dark.
Okay, December 27th, 10:35 a.m. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th.
Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance.
Long Khan didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edward is right about that, Bingham. Okay. That night, I was out in the boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back in the rental shop deck. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. Okay, there is full holes. That was an unusually vague testimony even for the court. In any matter, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
What's wrong, Nick?
It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared.
Well, if we've come this far, there's no way to go back but forward. I don't know what I'm saying. Here we go. That night, I was out on the boat on the lake. Let's move the mouse. I was looking for something. Looking for something? Yeah.
What was it you were looking for? What was the witness was searching for is irrelevant. Most likely he was hunting for this Gordy. You know, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if that was the truth. This is all irrelevant. Let's get it over with. Move, freaking mouse. So I finally slipped the boat back in the rental shop. Around with what time was that? Let's see. I figure I was out searching for about an hour. Yeah. Hey, don't
Don't give me that face. I'm not some sort of human sundial, okay? Hello? Freaking mouse. It's gonna die on me. Not really. And I was just thinking about going home, then I heard the bang. Where did the sound come from? Yep, mouse is just not responding. Yeah, well, I wasn't too sure about that. Look around, you know.
Did you look at the lake?
Yeah, I looked. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't notice the boat. Wasn't there a boat on the lake?
Order! Well, Mr. Butts?
Whoa. Everybody just calm down, okay? I mean, it was a real foggy that night. I'm not sure whether there was a boat out there or not. Oh, okay. No problem. That's just the most important part of this case. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. Huh. Well, Nick, it was a pretty wishy-washy testament, wasn't it? I guess I should just start working on the contradictions. Sorry, I wish I could be more helpful. Okay. I was looking for something. What can we present? Wait, what's this? Touch, check. Next. Okay. Shows an empty lake taken. Whoa! I got it. This? No! Wrong timing. Wrong timing right now. Let me look it up. I mean, I can just figure it out on my own. Let's figure this out. I didn't notice the boat. So after that, I went home. Yeah, I can't figure this shit out. Let's see. Okay, who are we looking? Oh. There's testimony. Press. Oh, it's that one. Okay, there you go.
Objection!
Wait a second, Larry. What? You only heard one bang? You sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lana Hart testified yesterday that she heard two bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard two gunshots that night. Huh? Oh, come on. This thing's gonna fall apart. Better. As long as the other one does not fall, we're good. Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please! Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff.
Mr. Butts,
What?
you only heard one gunshot. Are you sure?
Hello? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure.
Huh?
Not sure? How could you be... Yeah, well... Might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude! On my headphones. What?
Order! And stop the booing! Mr. Butts, you were listening to the radio on earphones?
Yeah, so what? That's a crime. I listen to my radio, everyone listens to the radio, what's the big deal?
Mr. Von Carver, your opinion. Waste of time.
I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony.
Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue the testimony?
Continue. Your Honor, please allow the witness to continue his testimony.
Nothing is more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost. Very well, Mr. Butts. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio.
Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve. That's why I was listening to All Request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it like real booming loud. But I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too.
You were listening to your radio at high volume?
Yeah, what's the big problem? Can a man listen to his radio in peace? Isn't this a free country? I truly believe Larry has no idea what the problem here is.
Judge, can't you believe a word this witness says? What he heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. True enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony.
Objection! Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said. DJ. When he heard the gunshot.
Excuse me? DJ?
An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor.
Very well, Mr. Wright.
I can't believe I'm counting this charade. What Larry heard. What did he say?
Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions. What possible good can knowing what the radio DJs do? Mr. Bunker, allow the question only if you see reason why we should care.
We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should.
Why?
Well, how do you know if we don't ask him?
Very well. Please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot?
Just when she said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," I heard the gunshot. This is almost ludicrous. That's what I've ever heard, but there's one gleaming ray of hope in there. I've got to press on so we get the bottom of what happened.
Go all the way.
Are you sure? Of course I am. She had this real... No. Ava. Hey, it's almost Christmas. I heard the gunshot. 1 meter away. There you go. Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. Hey, if you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy.
There's something the matter, Mr. Wright.
Your Honor, did you hear what the witness just said? The DJ said, "Hey, it's almost Christmas," when he heard the gunshot.
Indeed, and?
Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve.
I was trying to be the case, yes.
But he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. The photographs are irrefutable proof of this fact.
Let's see what time was on the 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken. Just look at him. Suspicious.
What?
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butt's claim he heard the gunshot before midnight?
Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight.
Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight.
Okay, what do I press? What do I press? There's something like for or laws of precision. The dude just say it's almost midnight. Okay, present. Did you say it's almost Christmas? This means Larry's right. The second leg forward to the current court.
Take that!
Look at this photograph. This was taken by a witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The time step on the photo is December 24th, 11:50 p.m.
But there's nothing on the leg in the picture.
Your Honor, the real issue is not why nothing is shown in the photograph, it is why this photograph exists at all.
What do you mean?
Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to a loud noise. Correct. There was a loud noise on the leg at 11:50 p.m. That is why this photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely Christmas Eve.
Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does this leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken?
Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were two sets of gunshots with a 25-minute pause between them.
Why would this be? Don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond loud noises. Yes. There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why the witness would have sneezed, triggering the camera.
Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear!
Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise was indeed the gunshot?
How to prove it? Present the pistol.
Take that!
This is my evidence.
The murder weapon?
Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both the witness who testified yesterday heard two gunshots. After the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When then was the last shot fired? Only now I have realized the truth. That third shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight.
Order! That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you, why?
Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes? What's wrong, Nick?
I have it. I have it. Huh? Remember the case with the steel samurai?
Yeah, of course, I remember. The murderer in this case had the same idea as the murderer in that case.
Oh, wrong voice.
What do you mean?
Maya!
Yes?
If we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edward's guilty verdict. I've got a hunch and I'm going to run it with it.
Right. I mean, is this safe?
Safe? We already got a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just watch and let me know if I say anything's unofficial, okay?
Right.
Your Honor! What do you mean, Mr. Wright? So you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer than Miles Edward himself. Wrong, Von Karma. A man was shot that night, but it wasn't Edward who did the shooting. Listen, Rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on the lake. This was shown by the witness photograph. The defendant Edward and the victim Robert Hammond were on the boat. There was a gunshot fired on the boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide. Well, the guilty party has to be no other man on the boat. Our man has a hard imagine. Yes. But this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? We have a photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. The time stamp on the photo says 15, but Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Henry was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edward could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who this is sitting on the boat. It was the murderer and Robert Hammond. What are you saying? The contradiction that you told me in court. Well, we got 3 tries, so... I'm just gonna look it up. Of course, it was Edward as a murderer. After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond met Edward. What? Are you serious? Yes, Edward won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edward to the lake. Now, Edward didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous! Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer then. The murderer's name? Right, it's... Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah! Again, you waste my time. I don't know, because he never told us. What the heck? The murderer is the caretaker of the boat shop. That old man. At 11:50, who's the one who killed Robert Hammond? The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats at the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out in the lake just to shoot someone? May suggest that the real scene of this crime was not in the boat? What? Well then, where did the murder take place? Show the judge where it really took place. At the shop, right? Because he stated how... whatever. You want to examine the gore leg. Present the boat shop. The boat shop. Because he said he saw a man. Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he could meet with the victim without seeing anyone.
Objection.
Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony if you will. That night he was out on the lake in a boat searching for something. He finds it and returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he was wearing headphones at the time. In other words, the gunshot was very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? The boat shop. Mr. Wright, what happened that night on Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor. Nick, are you sure about this? I'm not really. But I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. Hey, we're close. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop. This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then, he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the lake. Went out into the middle of the lake. Then, who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright? Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. He shot twice, both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to hit anyone? Details. Who knows this, Mr. Wright? The moment you run out of explanations, the moment you lose. Tell us why the murderer fired twice. I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot will look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and fires again. Then, the murderer jumps from the boat himself, leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men of the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice to draw attention to this boat. Once he realized that everything else falls into place, the boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on the Gourd Lake. Well, where's the proof? Bailiff! Bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker quickly. Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, we would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said. Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Mr. Wright said was mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually. Yes. Several days ago I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake at midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry, I can't say what it was. Your Honor, sir! Bailiff, we are conducting a trial. I ask that you remain quiet. The witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either. What? What should I do? Find him, quickly! We cannot allow him to get away! Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant has already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I'll extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department use all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop taker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned.
So much talking. We started like at 4:30. 3-4 hours later. Jesus Christ. Hey, Nick! You did it!
Yeah. Well, at least we got out of under the guilty verdict.
And what about Larry? That was something else. Even Von Karma didn't know what to do with his testimony. Larry really helped us out.
Sure. Once I shifted through his unique testimony, still, he did save us. Just wish our cases weren't so down to the wire all the time.
I know what you mean. Sometimes I feel like it's us on trial instead of our clients.
Hey, Edgeworth.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Did you say something?
Don't look so pained. I mean, it looks like you're probably going to get off the hook. You can try to smile just a little. Relax.
I'm sorry, but I fear it's not over for me yet. What do you mean? Right. Something that's been troubling for a long time now, and I don't know whether or not to tell you. Edgeworth. Memory of a crime that I committed. A memory of a murder. We'll be continuing on with this live stream. We're almost done with here. There's another hour and a half or so. This next part, I'm just gonna turn off the mic, and we will continue on. Okay, we are back now. Okay, so let's do this. I saw on my playlist that the video was cut halfway after the first trial. I'm like, what the heck? How did it do that? It was completely recording the entire time. But either way, we're still live streaming this, so whatever happens, happens. So this is Judgment Day. Today things are going to get settled at last. A lot of things. What? What's the big idea?
Sorry, Nick. I only touched your shoulder. I guess the shock hasn't worn off from my run-in with the stun gun yesterday. Anyhow, today's the last day of the trial. Good luck, Nick.
Yeah, thanks, Maya. Edgeworth is looking glum as always. I hope Von Karman doesn't push him too hard. Ugh. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm sorry. I just thought I'd cheer you up with a pat on the back.
Maya, maybe you should go outside and discharge.
Right, good idea.
Try not to electrocute anyone on your way out. Whoa, pal. What's got an end to that girl? Detective Gumshoe. Morning, Mr. Edgeworth. Good morning. How did it go, Detective? Have no fear, as promised I've captured our runaway caretaker. I just brought him took all night, pal. Thanks, Detective Gumshoe. You must be tired. Actually, after that shock I got on the way in, I feel pretty good. Oogie says he's forgotten his own name, but that has to be a lie. Why would he want to revenge on Edgeworth if he couldn't remember his past? He does remember, and I'm going to prove it. Court is now in session for the trial of Miles Edgeworth. Defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready. Oh, very well. We have reached the final day of our proceedings in this trial. I ask that the prosecution submit decisive evidence. Understood.
Come on, don't be awed into silence by every little thing he says.
Very well. Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement. Right. Thanks to Detective Gumshoe's efforts, the boat rental shop caretaker has been arrested. In yesterday's trial, the defense asserted that the caretaker was the murderer. However, the caretaker has yet to confirm this. I would like to ask the defense to cross-examine him as much as necessary. Very well. Please bring the witness into the courtroom. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, I believe you all remember our witness. He lives in the boat rental shop at the lake from where he witnessed the incident. In addition, he was currently lost in memory of his name and identity. Witness, why did you run away yesterday? No witness was not running away, as he will now testify. I see. Very well, please begin your testimony. I'm really sorry about just learning yesterday, I did. But I wasn't running away anyway or nothing. I went to buy some food for Polly, see? I figure I got nothing to do with this incident anyhow. I mean, I need one of this motives things, right? And I don't got one. So my testimony just stands as is. Very well. Let's begin the cross-examination, shall we? He has to know his name. Yanni Yogi. You're Yanni Yogi, and I'm going to prove it. Alright, time to figure this out. So I just like that, but I wasn't running away or nothing. Food? I've always a bit of a gourmand, you see. He only eats these high-quality bird pellets from France. They only have them in the big pet shop downtown. But you weren't arrested until this morning. Why didn't you go back to the caretaker's shack? Well, I kinda got lost, you see. The witness has trouble remembering these sometimes. When the police apprehended him, he was on his way back to the shack. Yeah, right. Nice try, Von Kamm. No one's gonna believe that. I see. So he was lost. Please, Your Honor, come to your senses. I think I got nothing to do. You've lost much of your memory, is that correct? Yep, seems like it. Then how can you know that you didn't have anything to do with the incident? Huh? Or maybe you're lying about not having your memory, You know exactly who you are. The witness was testified quite clearly that he has no memory of who he is. If you claim he's lying, then show the proof. How am I supposed to prove what's going on in that old conger's head? That's impossible. I'm glad to come to your senses, Mr. Wright. Right, witness, please continue. You need one of those motor things, right? And I don't got one. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. The witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge, it's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory, otherwise it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. May I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Order! Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Ho ho. Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. That was a firework, whatever. So who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Please tell us the witness's name. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi from the DL6 incident. I thought the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. Well, what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Young, then he has a clear motive. Jumping to conclusion again, Mr. Wright. This witness is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. Allow me to repeat once more then that the witness lost his memory. This is it. Right here, right now, then I have to got nowhere else to go.
Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi?
It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare it to the fingerprints on the file of Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. That makes sense. Tisk. Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burned my fingers working with the stuff. Yep.
What? Yogi, you sneak! You burn your fingers off to hide your past!
Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we'll not be able to prove his identity.
No!
Tisk, well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided,
No! I know what happened. I know everything. I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way.
There is no one who can testify as who this witness is. No one.
Nick, what are you going to do?
I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine the parrot for a little comic relief.
Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine the parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to.
Your Honor, the defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. On his proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's parrot. Order! What do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object! Wait a second. You're the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please be my guest. Of course you should go through with this. If nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences.
Nick, this is crazy.
Well, still want to go through with your little game? Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot.
Alright, everything lies on the parrot.
It's quite a bird. Please tell us your name. Name! What is ignoring me?
It must hurt to be ignored by a bird.
Very well, witness. Who is your honor? Testify for us.
Hello, squawk.
Certainly the most concise testimony we had so far. Begin your cross-examination. Right.
What are you going to do, Nick?
I don't know. What do we do, Maya?
Who is your owner?
Why? Witness, you can't just say hello and expect.
I say. Have we forgotten something? What's your name? Let's just try to get her to say anything.
My, what a reckless parrot. Mr. Wright, you are claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker.
Actually, it does.
That's why I had her say it. Ha! Ridiculous. How can a number to us say tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity?
What proof do we have? What proof do we have? What proof do we have? Is this the right one?
Okay, and then prove present.
Take that!
The DL6 case file. What is this obsession you have with that case? Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to the safe number? Which one is it? Is it all three? Case summary. It's on the case summary page. Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident, December 28th. Why, that's today's date, 15 years ago. And the number on the safe is 1228. Ugh! He used the date of the DL6 incident as his number for his safe, Your Honor. That's how important the date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates.
Objection!
Bah! This is not tangible proof. I set my ATM card to 0001 because I'm number... This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing. Indeed. Malone is a little weak for evidence. No murder trial. We will need some corroborating evidence. Where am I going to find that?
Nick, we're getting closer. One more, if we could just get one more piece of evidence.
Right, but what? Very well, witness. You may continue.
Okay, what else are we supposed to do with this parrot? Mr. Judge demanded the consequences of the trial, so he caused the character. Wait, what?
So we had to do all 3 times? What the heck?
Hold it!
What is this? Ah, so we have to do this over again? So we had to do all 3 options. Okay, back to this.
Hold it!
Then we click the middle one.
Polly, Squire.
Mr. Wright, I think we established that the parrot's name's Polly.
Of course.
So we had to do the same thing again? Present the DL6 file and suspect data. Interesting.
Take that! Objection!
That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is the proof on it then? Show us or stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please show us the page. It's on the suspect data page. This pictures all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Sound like a common name. Exactly, Your Honor. You remember the name of his fiancée who committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I guess that is possible.
Objection!
Bah! A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's...
She's only 7 years old. How does he know the granddaughter?
This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon a caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately. Witness! Tell us your name. Wait! This witness he doesn't remember. No, it's okay. I've accomplished what I've wanted to do. I'm done.
Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years?
Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 10 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order! Yanni Yogi. So was it you who killed Robert Hammond and shot a friend Miles Edgeworth? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond. He said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really, but he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiance, my social standing. Then this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to get my revenge. People who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent him. I thought this was my chance after 15 years. This was it. Finally a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty yet to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Anyway, I admit I was the one who killed Robert Hammond. On Karma, where is Yogi? I'm under arrest, Your Honor. I saw no room for error in his confession. But the defendant Miles Edgeworth is innocent in this case, at least. Very well. Will the defendant please take the stand? There are a few mysteries left unsolved. So you are cleared of suspicion for this particular case. So I'd like to pass judgment on the murder of Mr. Robert Hammond. Any objections? I don't believe it. Why isn't Von Karma saying anything? This court fought to defend Mr. Miles Edgeworth. That is all. The court is adjourned.
Objection!
Did someone just say objection? It wasn't Von Karma. Wait, but that means... No! Edgeworth! Your Honor, I object to your judgment. What do you mean? I'm not innocent at all. As we have heard, Yanni Yogi killed Robert Hammond in revenge. But revenge for what?
Nick! Edgeworth is trying to confess. He's going to say he's guilty. He's going to tell them he was the murderer in the L6 incident. He's going to tell them he killed his own dad.
Uh-oh, what do I do?
Where's the objection? Object?
Objection!
The judgment has already been passed. I object to Edgeworth's outburst.
Didn't something like this happen yesterday too? I believe a certain witness raised an objection after a guilty verdict was passed. That would be Larry. We must hear this new statement. We must hear Miles Edgeworth. He's right. We have a duty to hear Edgeworth out. For 15 years, I have had a recurring dream. A nightmare. A nightmare, that's what I told myself. But now I know it wasn't a dream. Johnny Yogi wasn't the killer. You mean your father died? The distance of the shot, it wasn't suicide. The criminal in the DL6 incident. It was me. Your Honor, I confess my guilt. I am guilty for the DL6, the statute of limitations of which ends today. The culprit is me. Order! This is certainly unexpected. The defendant declared innocent is confessing to a different crime. A crime for which the statute of limitations runs out today. I'm not really sure how I should deal with this. Bah! It's obvious. We hold a trial right here, right now. Like we tried this man for his crime of 15 years ago. I think I would like to take a 5-minute recess. During this time I will consider the appropriate course of action to take. Court is adjourned. Defendant lobby number 2. I'm sorry, I just wasted all of your effort. Mr. Edgeworth, I just don't believe it, pal. I mean, you killed your dad? I didn't want to believe it myself, detective, but it's the truth. Murder is murder, no matter what the circumstances. That's just crazy.
Nick, what are you doing?
Huh? Oh. I was just reading through the court records once more. I'm getting my case ready.
Your case? For what?
Isn't it obvious? I'm going to prove that Miles Edgeworth is innocent. What are you talking about, pal? He's just admitted to it. He confessed that he did it in court. I'm sorry, Edgeworth.
I don't believe your nightmare.
What? It's just a dream. It's not real. The truth is right here in this court record. In any case, tighten your belts. The real fight is just beginning. I'll prove you're innocent. Trust me. Right. But I would like to resume our trial. Judge, Miles Edgeworth has admitted his own guilt. He has confessed his crime. Let us begin by hearing his testimony. Then, though pointless, let the defense do their cross-examining. The statute of limitations of DL6 runs out today. Though it's unconventional for me, I like to run this one by the book. I see. Does the defense have any objections? No, Your Honor. Ron Karma, you knew this was going to happen from the very beginning, didn't you? Very well. Will Miles Edgeworth take the stand? Is this correct? It is correct. Did I testify about this matter to the court?
When Edgeworth was telling me about his dream yesterday, I noticed something. One detail didn't quite fit. That will be the key, but only if I can get it to work. Please.
That day, I had gone to the courtroom to observe one of my father's trials. As we went to leave, an earthquake struck, trapping us in the elevator. My father and Mr. Yogi lost their composure and began to argue. Just then, something heavy fell at my feet. I picked it up and threw it at Mr. Yogi. I wanted him to stop fighting. A moment later, there was a single gunshot and a scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. That's all. We were stuck in the elevator for 5 hours. Actually, the elevator ran out and I lost my memory of the events. Bah! The same claim Mr. Yogi has made. Very well, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. I picked it up and threw it at Miss Yellow.
Hold it!
But the air was getting so thick, I panicked. So you're saying that you threw the pistol at Mr. Yogi? I was in a daze.
Hold it!
The gun fired once? Yes. I think after I threw it, I lost consciousness. Since then, it echoed in my head every day. Gunshot and that horrible scream. The scream. It was a terrible scream. I remember it to this day. What was the scream? What was the scream? Call it? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. To this day? What was the scream? Ah, come on! Photograph the scene of the murder, touch the screen upon view. Oh, I didn't know how to do this. Air elevator was oxygen depleted, no clues found on the scene. The friends trapped in the elevator, returning from a lost trial with son Miles, age of 9. One bullet found in the heart. The murder weapon was fired twice. I think that's our freaking shit.
Objection!
Are you sure you only heard one gunshot? Yes, I'm sure of that. I heard the shot and the scream. Then everything faded. I was unconscious until the rescuers came. I see. But that doesn't make sense. Look at the file one more time. This plainly contradicts the witness testimony. You do enjoy dragging out that file, don't you? I don't accept this evidence unless you can tell us what page it's on. Which page contradicts Miles Edgeworth's testimony? Look at the victim data in this file. It says it's quite plain. The murder weapon was fired twice. Miles Edgeworth only heard one gunshot. Yet the murder weapon was fired twice. The first shot was the accidental firing when the pistol was thrown. So, who fired the remaining shot? Was there perhaps another shooter who fired that second shot? Your Honor, as I'm sure you're aware, the incident occurred 15 years ago. The evidence is dated. The pistol did fire twice. However, we do not know when that second shot was fired. It might have been fired the day before the incident. There is no proof that the second shot had anything to do with the incident. What? I see. You do have a point, Mr. Wright. The murder weapon was fired twice, as we heard. One of those shots was fired by the defendant, a boy at the time. Do you have any proof the other shot had something to do with the case? Your Honor, I think I will able to show you the proof. What? Impossible. Now, Von Carver, save your surprise for after you've seen the evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, show us your proof. Do you have evidence that the second firing of the pistol is related to the incident?
Okay. Let's check it.
Yes, we do.
Take that!
Look at this photograph. This is a photograph of the scene of the crime 15 years ago. I could see that the victim lying there is Gregory Wedgeworth. This proves the murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. This photo proves it. So let me get this straight. This photo proves 2 shots were fired? Where?
Your Honor, please get a clue. Show the judge a contradiction. Okay. Hello?
Take that!
As should be obvious, the contradiction is here.
I see a bullet hole in the door.
Your Honor! Gregory was killed by a shot from the pistol, yet there is also a bullet hole in the elevator door. We also know that the murder weapon was fired twice. Thus, someone other than Edgeworth fired the second shot.
Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at?
It's simple, Your Honor. At the time of the incident, 2 shots were fired. One went into Gregory's Edgeworth's heart. The other hit the elevator door. Remember that the defendant lost consciousness after the shot he fired rang out. In conclusion, we must agree that the second shot was fired by someone else.
Mr. Wright, who could that someone else be?
The murderer, of course.
I knew I should have stepped in before your wild fancies go out of hand. Mr. Wright, look once more at the DL6 case file. Look closely. Try the case summary page.
The case summary, that's on page 1.
Not a single clue was found on the scene. If the pistol had indeed been fired twice, then the other bullet would have been discovered on the scene. He does have a point. The second bullet has never been found. Why? Because the second bullet does not exist. The bullet that claimed Gregory Edgeworth's life was the one fired by his own son. That is the truth of this matter. The whole truth. It was undoubtedly something else that would make that bullet hole in the floor door. Order! I will have order. The murder weapon was fired twice at the time of the incident. However, Mr. Von Karma says the second bullet was not found. It is highly unlikely that the police merely overlooked the second bullet. I praise the judge for his wisdom in this matter.
How did this happen?
I don't believe that the second bullet didn't exist. Was I wrong?
Have I been wrong about this whole incident? What are you doing, Nick? Why aren't you raising an objection?
I'm sorry, Maya.
What?
It looks like I was wrong.
Nick!
The second bullet wasn't there. All my conjectures are for nothing.
No. But you said you'd do it. Nick, you said you'd get Edgeworth declared innocent.
I'm sorry. It's just when I saw the photograph, I thought the 2 shots had been fired. I was so certain of it. I thought I won. I thought there was another person, someone who else fired the killing shot. But now, I was wrong to think that it could be that simple. This case has stood unsolved for 15 years.
Nick.
Well, it seems that we have finally cleared up this incident. Only 1 bullet was found at the scene of the crime. That shot was fired by Miles Edgeworth. Precisely. I would like to ask one thing. Have you been paying attention to the trial so far? Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any objections? No, I do not. So you killed your father, though that was not your intention. Yes, I did.
No, he's confessing.
Very well. The statute of limitations on murder, Gregory, runs out today. I must pronounce a verdict on the defendant today right here. Right now. Indeed.
I've been here before. Just like my first day in court. There's so many things I know I should be saying. My mind's gone blank. I can't find the words.
Objection!
Your Honor. I object. Mr. Wright, on what grounds do you object to him?
Nick, I don't know. This case is perfect. No. It must exist. The second bullet.
What? What did you just say?
Nothing. The second bullet must exist. But where? Someone took it.
It seems waiting is not going to produce us any answers from Mr. Wright. Wait, Your Honor. The second bullet.
It exists.
What? Well, we just heard proof that it did not exist.
I realize that, Your Honor. I'm really grasping here. It's just someone took it from the scene of the crime. That's what happened.
But who?
The murderer.
The murderer? Then tell us just who is this murderer?
I'm still thinking about that one.
So the criminal took the second bullet. Why would he?
Huh?
How would he have found it? It's not easy to find a stray bullet, Mr. Wright. Was there something pressing need for the murderer to search for that bullet?
Was there some pressing need for the murderer to search for the bullet? The murderer didn't need it?
Let me check.
The murderer didn't need it. Why would the murderer have spent the time to look for the stray bullet? I haven't got a clue. I am reading that right? Let me double check. Yo. The murderer didn't need it, yeah.
Don't want to admit it, but it's true.
Had to take it.
Had to take it?
The murderer? What does that mean? You're thinking too normal. Think crazy. Don't think why the bullet was taken. Think why the bullet had to be taken.
Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. I have no idea what I'm doing. Well, the murderer had no intention of taking the bullet from the scene. But, the murderer had to take the bullet.
Had to?
Well, for instance. For instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer.
The bullet hit the murderer?
Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there, you know? Wait a second. I was just taking off the top of my head. But what if that's really what happened?
Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer himself was shot, and he left the second bullet still inside, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime?
Yes. I guess that's how it would work, yes.
The other two people rescued from the elevator. Miles Edgeworth and Yanni Rogi were both unharmed. So that would mean
the murderer came from outside, yes. The two men fight inside the elevator. Who's talking? Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharged and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside. The boy loses consciousness. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the man inside.
Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yet I cannot deny what possibly you say. What are you saying? Deny it! Deny it! No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. That's right. Can't think of anyone. Hey Nick.
Huh?
I just thought of something really crazy.
Crazy?
Remember what Mr. Grossenberg said yesterday?
Water for this.
What if Von Karma didn't take the vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean...
It can only mean one thing.
he was the murderer in the DL6 incident.
He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth.
It was Von Karma.
Oh man. No, Your Honor. Well, you have indicated the possibility that the murderer came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect?
Uh-oh, should I come out and say something now?
Your Honor, there's a suspect, one lone suspect. Well, this is certainly interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect?
My hands are shaking.
What?
Von Karma!
Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor, sitting right there? Bah! You don't object? I see no need why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection.
Because you took a vacation for several months, starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without a reason?
So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident? Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, you know. Where did I go under the knife? At Mr. Wright. Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify.
Nick, let's find out who the doctor is.
It's no use. Edgeworth. I know Von Karma perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That will leave a doctor as a witness.
Nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out by himself? That's insane.
No, he couldn't have.
You can't just pull bullets out on yourself. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere, but where?
Well, Mr. Light,
Can you produce evidence?
Alright, Von Karma, I'll prove it. And I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much. What? Evidence that proves Von Karma's shot is...
This is where I use it, right?
Okay, let's go.
Take that!
Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now?
I think it's unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself.
You don't mean... I do. There is a possibility the bullet is still inside Von Karma. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. We can use this metal detector. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you and see what we find. I refuse. You refuse? What refusing this means? You acknowledge that the bullet is still inside you. Order! Your Honor, the defense requests that we be allowed to use the metal detector. Judge, I call a suspension of this trial. This is an invasion of privacy. The statute of limitations runs out of this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now. Enough! I permit the use of the metal detector. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing.
I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet.
Mr. Von Karma? You! It was you! I was afraid this would happen. And so I remained silent.
Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this incident.
What? I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident. I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to the DL6 incident. But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that? Prove? I have no obligation to prove anything. It's you who must prove something here, Mr. Wright. Not I. Mr. Wright. Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence.
That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday.
With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright.
No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were close. One day away from freedom. You see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought you would have dug your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident. And here's my final proof.
Take that!
That's a bullet? Where did you get that?
This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all the ballistic markings intact.
Ballistic markings?
You may recall the term. It came out with the first trial 2 days ago.
We don't need to go over this. We know what this means.
We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory's heart. The other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We can analyze both bullets. Then, if the markings matched, we would know that both bullets have the same gun, the very same pistol. In other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Mr. Von Karma, you will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. And solve this case once and for all. Well, Mr. Von Karma?
That scream. I heard that scream before. Wait, I know.
Help, help, I can't breathe. Quiet, I said quiet. I'm not doing this part.
It's that scream I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Von Karma, it was you who screamed. Mr. Von Karma.
Edgeworth! I can't even do that.
Only you would dare defy me. So it was you. You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty of my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you with my bare hands.
15 years earlier,
Mr. Chief Prosecutor, I'm sorry. Von Karma, it's not like you. I never would have thought that Edgewood would be the one to catch you. I was careless. I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered for you in the past, but not this time. Edgeworth. It was a shock like none I ever had known. Me, penalized. It took hours for me to regain my composure. Finally, I found myself in darkness. I was in the court record rooms. I must have wandered in there without thinking where I was going. The room was pitch black. The lights must have gone out. I went out of the hall and felt my way to the elevator. I pressed the button and nothing happened. And then there was a whole noise. I was in pain, a horrible burning pain in the shoulder. Just then, the lights came back on. The elevator door opened back before my eyes. I saw 3 people there as lying unconscious from constant deprivation. Much surprise, plus blah blah. It was destiny. In his last moments, Gregor was still unconscious. He died never knowing who had shot him. Later he spoke through a medium, blaming Mr. Yogi. He was fooled. It was the perfect crime. Who would have thought another man would have come to open that elevator door? Judge, what are you doing? Do your job. Bring an end to this miserable charade. Now, end it. Very well. It appears that we have come to a very long way to end of this maze. 15 years later, Mr. Miles Edgeworth. You're innocent. You are innocent. As you said, it was all a nightmare. Yes, Your Honor. The court wants to defend Mr. Miles Edgeworth. Finally! Oh my god. Finally! I'm gonna save my voice.
Take that!
Yo, I don't know which one. I just don't know what the evidence show. What the heck? It's either the mom or it's gotta be the badge, or I don't know what is it. Hold on, let me look it up. Which one was I supposed to use? Hello? Great. Great. There was one more. Oh, come on. I think I screwed it up. Well. Oh yeah, the bullet. Yeah, that's why, cause she got it. Well, I screwed up. Well, I screwed up real bad. Thanks, Nick. And so my story ends. Time to turn a new page and say goodbye to the novice defense attorney that I once was. Now a new story begins, with the same old crazy cast of characters. Ha! Don't you think you graduated yet, amateur? Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to rethink that claim? Yes, Your Honor. Uh-oh, I got a bad feeling about this.
Objection!
Well, this is really a turn of events. Pretty much they're... Danny Young is... Wait, what? Kind of like he was embarrassed or something. Strange, huh? Well, there is like one more episode to do, but that's not considered part of the storyline. Maybe I'll... Huh? Nick? Nah, I haven't seen him lately. Who, me? I've been working at a cheese shop. That Missy's a nice lady, but she's exactly what you call a cheap date. Great. But pretty much, I think I'm done with this. And then once I finish Spirit of Justice, I'll come back to this. And finish that other chapter. And that'll be it for the Ace Attorneys, the first one. So we finish this one, go to Spirit of Justice, come back to this to finish that extra episode, and then continue on the rest of the series. And that's pretty much it. Wow, it's been a while. We started like in August, and now we're here. I think it was in August. But oh well. I'll let the credits play in for a little bit more while, and then by the time we get to the save point, I'll say like, comment, subscribe. So I'm turning off the mic right here.
Okay, I believe we finally reached to the end.
Hold it!
Rise from the ashes. Great. We'll just end right here. We'll be back next time. I don't know when, but we'll come back that next time. But anyways, make sure to hit that like button, comment performance. If you're new, if you're like to see, subscribe button, Destructics TV, and I'm signing out.